folks. Thanks for checking into the Neutral Zone Hotel. We are a unapologetically left-leaning podcast that examines hockey at its best and worst. And we have a special summertime episode for you today. So I've got a few of our usual co-workers and a special part-time employee who's shown up for the hotel today. But we'll start with my good friend Trevor.
Hey everybody, Trevor here, pronouns he, him. The regretful Vancouver Canucks fan, the hopeful PWHL Vancouver fan. How's it going?
We got SJ.
Hi, I'm SJ. My pronouns are they, them. And I am a Seattle Kraken fan, a PWHL Seattle fan, an Everett Silvertips fan. And if anybody wants to bring any more hockey teams to my city, I will gladly be a fan of them too, just by default. So yeah, hi.
And also joining us today is Kyle.
Hi, I'm Kyle. First time, long time. My pronouns are he, him, and I am a fan of the Boston Bruins, so I am desperately and failing trying to accept the Tanner Jeannot contract.
Breaking the heart.
Folks, and I'm Benjamin. My pronouns are he, him, in case you had forgotten who I am. Folks, thanks so much for joining us, Kyle. And apologies about the Tanner Jeannot contract. That is probably the worst contract of the offseason, I think.
It's pretty brutal. I remember I went to a game where I think he was just traded to the Tampa Bay Lightning. It was a Bruins Lightning game, and I remember chirping what Tampa paid for him as overpriced and horrible, and just karma came around to bite me about 3 or 4 years later.
Life comes at you fast.
The absolute damage that has been done to Boston by the flailing attempts to keep the team relevant in the post-Bergeron era. I mean, the Lindholm contract, this is the Nikita Zadorov contract, and now this Tanner Jeannot contract. Don Sweeney, I wonder if he's already secretly taken a job with the Rangers because he's doing his best to sink the Bruins. It's crazy.
On the bright side, I will be able to afford to go to a game for the first time in a long time.
Oh, there you go.
I love it.
Hey, man.
Silver lining.
There is something about the team being crappy and tickets prices dropping. I got to go to a Habs games last year. And some of the low rent games, like against Columbus and the Buffalo Sabres, they're still only like $80 Canadian. So there's something about it when your team stinks and being able to go. It's a lot of fun.
I was lamenting the last couple of years that the Kraken have been really terrible, but prices were still like sky high. And I think they're finally starting to soften up now starting in year 5 of the team being bad. So I'm looking at that like maybe it's a good thing. But on the other hand, I have so many hockey games that are not the Kraken's already scheduled next year. It's like, I probably don't have time.
Yeah.
I came very close to buying the Friday night pack for the 67s because it's like 10 games for $190.
Holy smokes.
So, yeah, it was ridiculous. Oh, it was ridiculously cheap. But then I realized I don't want to commit 10 of my next 50 Fridays to the 67s.
They're so bad.
They were really bad. Both when you saw them, SJ, and when you saw them, Trevor, they stunk.
Were fine when we saw them.
Yeah. Well, last year I went to 3 67s games.
I did enjoy watching the other team stunt on them at that game. That was pretty funny.
Who did you see play the 67s?
I want to say it was
the Greyhounds. No, it wasn't the Greyhounds.
Brantford, maybe? Was it Brantford?
It was the Bulldogs. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the guys,
that huge Chinese guy that just got drafted, Xiao Wang. He was out there.
Yeah.
He's like 6'8", massive.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, they had that one guy got a hat trick. It was pretty. It was not a good game, but it was there were things to look for. So
because we saw them against the North Bay Battalion, and we got a 67 win. It's just we had a couple 2-goal games, so we were kind of cheering for hat tricks the whole time. Alas, we got disappointed.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, the 67s came off like they were one of the worst teams in the OHL last year. My roommate and I picked up a Friday night game because it was $2 hot dog night.
Oh yeah, those are
perfect.
Those are a nightmare to be an employee at. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, no, I felt terrible. I'm walking up and the guy's just putting hot dogs and buns like a machine. I'm like, yeah, I'll just take 4 of those, buddy.
Yeah,
let's go.
Because my first like actual job was as a concession worker at the Abbotsford Arena where the then Abbotsford Heat played. Funnily enough, I actually got a day off to go to the game, which ended up being the first dollar hot dog, $2 beer night. I might have gotten in a little bit of trouble for that, even though I said, like, hey, I cleared this ahead of time. But they were not happy.
Management does not need to make sense. Anyway, speaking of management, I suppose I should move this along because we have another special guest coming. Trevor Trebek is going to host a game of Hockey Jeopardy. So do you want to walk us through that, Trevor?
Yeah. I'll probably reiterate rules again as we get closer to it. But yeah, so I've got not as big as last year. It is only going to be one board. It's going to be 6 categories, but I do have a Final Jeopardy as well. Just kind of covering the hockey season at all from 2024, 2025. Just kind of test your guys' memory on what happened and also get hyped for what's going to be happening in about a month or so. Because, it's been 2 months since we've chatted hockey. It's been a nice lull. I've actually gotten to be like missing it. I mean, YouTube aside, but now that enough time's passed, let's see just how much of it you guys retained.
So we're going to talk a little bit about the off season, but then stay tuned for that. And I think what we can do is maybe just go around the table and do 2 or 3 off season things that stood out to you, good, bad. They could be for your teams. They could be to somebody else's teams. We will leave the Hockey Canada trial off the table for this. At some point, I'm going to sit down with our friend Andrew and talk about that in depth. We were supposed to do it a couple weeks ago, but I'm in Europe right now, so it didn't quite work out. And there's still been news since then, so I'm kind of glad we didn't just jump into it. But we will be leaving that one off the table. But anything else I think is on it. SJ, do you want to go first? You got 2 or 3 things you want to talk about, buddy?
Yeah. So a couple of things happening in the PWHL. The Seattle just hired a couple of assistant coaches. Let me pop over to that tab. Christine Bumstead and Clayton Beddoes. So both of these 2 folks are coming out of primarily the WHL. So coming out of men's major junior hockey up in Canada. But I thought there was some really interesting stuff in here. Christine Bumstead, she was a performance coach for the Saskatoon Blades. She also worked for 4 seasons as an assistant at the University of Saskatchewan women's hockey team. And I thought this was really notable. She is also the head coach for Canada's women's deaf hockey team, which is, I think that's just a really cool thing to be involved in. And she looks like a super up-and-comer. I am very excited about Christine Bumstead and what she is going to bring to the table. Beddoes is joining as an assistant coach from the Red Deer Rebels. And I think he's also served as a skills coach. He's also worked with the Italian men's national hockey team and with the Chinese men's hockey team for Beijing. So there's some really solid experience in here, some experience with women's hockey, some experience with junior hockey, and primarily that development role. So I'm excited for these 2 folks. I'm a little bit more excited for them, I think, than I was for the head coaching hire, who just seems wildly underqualified, but I'm trying to keep an open mind on that. Yeah. Let's see what else. Yeah, a couple of other things like the hockey cards. The year 2 hockey cards came out and they sold out. The blaster packs sold out basically immediately. I picked up a couple of those, so I'm excited to see what those are going to look like. And I think the only other thing that I've really kind of thought about this summer is like, why where did all of the women go in the head coaching ranks? I think we're down to 2. They didn't hire any women for head coaches, and I just don't understand that. Like, there's more of a there's like 40 women coaching in the NCAA as head coaches, and I just don't understand what they're doing. Plus, all of the youth sports coaches, assistant coaches, it's like, and they're hiring so aggressively out of junior hockey, out of men's junior hockey, and I'm not really sure what the reasoning is there. I'd love to know.
I obviously have no insight as to what the league is actually thinking, but I've thought about this a little bit over the summer, and I think the issue is that hockey college coaches and university coaches in Canada are very stable. They don't change often.
Yeah, it's true in the NCAA as well.
Yeah. I think the average hockey coach in Canada makes less than a PWHL head coach. But in the NCAA, it is comparable, and the top coaches make more.
Yeah.
Like, one article I found said that the University of Minnesota Duluth's head coach, women's coach, will be making. She started her contract at $200,000, and it's supposed to go up to $250,000 over the course of the contract. So that's more than the PWHL is paying, which is rumored to be between $120 and $150. And as of yet, because we haven't seen a PWHL head coach take the jump to a bigger league, and obviously it's the top women's league in the world, but I think at some point a PWHL head coach like a Corey Chevry is going to end up in the NHL or even the AHL, and I think that's when it'll start being more viewed as a way to ascend the ranks. But until that happens, I think a lot of people that we would have liked to see apply for these new head coaching jobs and the vacancy in Boston, I think a lot of them are cooling their powder and thinking, I've got a good job. I don't have to move. I don't have to be subject to the fickleness of professional sports, because as we know, NHL coaches are hired to be fired. We haven't quite seen that in the PWHL yet, but once they move into a franchise role, I think we will. And I think there is simply no desire for most of these people to give up good gigs for, in many cases, less money and less stability. It just doesn't make sense. If the league continues to grow and coaching salaries increase the way that we expect player salaries to increase, and we see a clear advancement path to higher leagues open up, I think that'll change. But when we look at where the women who have coached in the PWHL already have come from, they've come from national teams.
Yeah.
So I think those areas are pretty thin to recruit from.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I think that's it. That's
all comes back to money.
That's kind of the answer I came up with. I think it comes back to what the PWHL is paying, which I don't think is an unfair wage for the type of work the coaches are doing, based on what the players make. But I think that a lot of NCAA coaches in particular are very comfortable. We saw that with David Carl.
Yeah.
In Denver. NHL teams have been trying to pry him out, and they can't do it because he's making lots of money and he has that job for life.
Yeah, and that's true.
It's tough.
Yeah. All right.
And if you leave the job, going back to it is not guaranteed. So, yeah. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Like I said, I've just been thinking about it.
No, those are all
Kyle,
great thoughts.
what about you? Thank you, Kyle. What about you? what are some things you've been thinking about other than the Tanner Jeannot contract?
So just to build off that real quick, the Clayton Beddoes was a name I had memory hold and had not thought about in years. 60 games with the Boston Bruins in the 90s. That definitely triggered some core memories of some
Hell yeah.
pretty decent teams. Remember some guys. And also, speaking to the stability of women's head coaches, my frame of reference for women's hockey is UConn women's hockey. I live 10 minutes down the road from there, and their coach has been there for 13 years, and they played in a glorified beer league rink, and now it's a 6,000 seat standalone hockey arena. So, when you have that comfort zone and that good of a footing, it makes sense that they might want to stay put. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
as for things that I took away from the off season, Mitch Marner to Vegas, unsurprising. I mean, I guess the real only drama was, is he going to Carolina or Vegas? Those were the only two teams that really seemed to be truly in the mix for him. I think more teams should have been moving heaven and earth to try and get a, maybe not a franchise type star, but a definite top line guy on their team. It reminds me of the Johnny Gaudreau situation years ago, where like Philadelphia was saying, "Oh, we didn't even try. We couldn't make the money work." You make the money work. You find a way to make the money work, and to just have two teams that always seem to be in the mix and nobody else really trying was very surprising.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, he just got to pick his spot, and those were the two spots he wanted. So I'm not sure that anybody else really had a shot. There were some rumors about maybe LA, but yeah, it just kills me he went to Vegas, but Vegas.
Yeah.
I think from what's his name? The Toronto GM.
Treliving?
That's the one,
Treliving.
yeah.
I think from Treliving's perspective, he wanted two things out of moving Mitch Marner. One of them was a player, ideally a player that if he was a free agent, Treliving would sign him to a deal that he would later have to buy out because that's his thing. And he wanted Marner in the Western Conference, which is understandable. You don't want to run up against him in the playoffs. And yeah, like Toronto shouldn't be planning for anything. Yeah, Toronto shouldn't be planning for anything.
Yeah, but knowing Mitch Marner's playoff performance, maybe you did want to play against him in the playoffs. You're fine. Man.
He's not a bad player.
He's
He
not
wasn't that bad. He wasn't. I don't think the failure, although he's the scapegoat in Toronto, I do not think the failure of the Leafs over the last 2 seasons is on him. I think it's squarely on Austin Matthews. And
I don't think it's on Austin Matthews.
And the goaltending.
I think it's a lot of it has been the goaltending, but it's just like a lot of it has just been that they're much too top heavy a team. I think it's just been a bad mix.
But I don't think that the return is going to change it, and I don't know.
Nick Waugh is a good
Toronto
player.
got any better.
I think Nick Waugh is a good player, and he does solve some real problems for that team. I don't think the team is better, but I don't think they're appreciably worse either.
I agree
It's
with
going
that
to be
sentiment.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it actually plays out in practice. And at the end of the day, we're not going to know until the playoffs what the real effect is. So
Yeah, and that's fair. Toronto is not playing for the next 82 games. They're not playing for. They expect to win enough of them to make the playoffs, and that's it.
yeah,
Florida style. But yeah, I agree with you, Kyle. I think it was interesting, but I think he picked his shot, and they wanted him as far away as possible.
And speaking of Florida, the other kind of surprising thing, you had Marchand linked to Toronto potentially, but boy, they kept the band back together, huh?
Holy smokes, did they ever?
the rising cap. Everybody wanted to stay. It's so interesting. Like Ekblad decided to. he just didn't want to go for the money that was available to him. Marchand the same. Yeah. Even Bennett took a discount. Like, they all wanted to stay. And I get it. 2 years in a row to stay on that train.
There were people bleeding about the taxes, and like Ekblad left. Ekblad would have been a $9.5 million player. There's no tax benefit that makes that shit up. Bennett would have made 9.5. Like, there were teams ready to give him $10 million after his playoff performance.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you. I think that they have clearly built something special that the players want to be a part of. They love where they live, and I think that's part of it. I don't think it's the taxes so much as it is just being in Florida.
Yeah.
But they have also done a very good job turning the Florida Panthers. For those of us who've been hockey fans for a long time, the Florida Panthers have been a joke. No offense, John, but they have been a joke for most of their existence, and they were a joke up until the hiring of Bill Zito. And they've completely turned everything in that franchise around from a organizational perspective. They've made it a destination for players. They've made it a destination for fans. They've made it into a winning team. It's a juggernaut. There's no way around it. And if they win another Stanley Cup next year, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, they have every possibility of doing so. I think it's just a testament to how much ownership matters. Like, Vinny Viola buying that team and then actually making good hires, and then understanding like when he was making bad hires and like saying that and correcting for that. And then just being willing to like really pour money into that team. They just opened a brand new practice facility. They replaced the Jumbotron in the arena. They spent a lot of time thinking about the fan experience and making sure that's better. And then just doing things like getting really aggressive with their bonus structure on deals to make those deals as enticing as possible to players, even if they don't have the highest bottom line figure. Those high bonus deals, there's a reason why they're going to become illegal in the next CBA. That's going to be a tough. I think that was a tough loss for the players, actually, and I'm surprised they decided that they weren't going to fight that. Very strange.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's concerns that if bonus structure stays the way it is, that certain teams can't afford to pay players the cap average that they want, because the upfront loaded bonus structure was very difficult for low-end market teams to compete with, like Columbus, like Minnesota, like Calgary, Winnipeg, teams that are not necessarily that. And not to say that Minnesota, Winnipeg aren't healthy, healthy, but they don't have the free cash flow of Montreal. And they don't have or New York, and they don't have the free spending owners of Florida and Tampa. So it does make it tough, I think, for those teams to compete. And from a player perspective, if a team is not able to compete, they are not handing out as much money overall, and that is bad, because they very much want the teams. Like, the salary cap has been both good and bad for players, but it is bad when teams cannot afford to spend close to the cap. And that, for the players, that I think is a big concern. I think that's probably why they alluded to it. It was something that was very beneficial for a certain class of players, but not as beneficial for the majority. Oh, I read, I'll get into this on the episode where I talk about it, but I read a book called Net Worth about the history of how money works in the NHL. And I've been thinking about it for a while. So anything else, Kyle, or were those your things?
Those are my things.
All right. What about you, Trevor?
I'm just going to keep this a little quick. Nothing necessarily in terms of news. I've just been really enjoying how PWHL Vancouver has been integrating their players into the community. It's been posted a lot via social media and whatnot, but like They had them at the PNE recently. They had them front courtside for a Toronto Tempo WNBA game in Vancouver. They had them at the BC Lions. They had them at the Vancouver Whitecaps. They took them up like to Whistler, a couple of the other mountains around. Took them over the ferries, showing not only they're showing the players the city, but they're also allowing the community as well to get to know these players as well and get to really know our first team. And I don't know. Actually, you can maybe confirm or deny this. I don't know if Seattle's necessarily doing the same thing.
They're running the exact same playbook in Seattle. Okay. Yeah, they went to they were featured at a Seattle Storm game. They threw out a pitch at a Mariners game. I'm not sure if they did a soccer game, but soccer is just harder to schedule. And then they're they very exciting. They had them throw fish at Pike Place, right? Like that's like a Seattle sports,
the Seattle thing. Yeah, sure.
Rite of passage. If you haven't thrown a fish, do you really play sports in Seattle? Absolutely not, right?
Was that cheapened when they had Dave Haxtell do it though?
No. I mean, everybody.
Was there for that.
Everybody throws the fish in Seattle. Like you can't cheapen that. It's like baseline.
You were there for Dave
I was
Haxtell
there for Dave Haxtell. I'll send the video in the group chat later.
Wow.
I went out to see the Bruins play the Kraken, and the day after the game when the Bruins beat them, Dave Haxtell was out there at Pike Place catching fish. It was very interesting to see.
Wow, what a great poll.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's just been very fun to watch the team's integration with the players and whatnot through social media, and it looks like the players are all having a great time, and I think that's great for them, especially because, a couple of them have signed decent extensions, but a couple of them only did 1 year, so it's like, all right, let's find ways to want to keep them around, but also like let's promote our team.
Yeah, I think both of those buildings are. Especially Vancouver, I think that building's going to be full every game. It's going to be awesome. So. It's going to be awesome.
They did open, originally when they opened season tickets, it was just going to be a lower bowl. And what I can understand is from the demand was so high, they actually started opening the upper bowl for seasons. So I'd imagine that the number is probably close to 10K, which is wild.
Well, I don't think they're selling the entire lower bowl as seasons.
No, of course they're going to have some for single games, but like it's still really cool.
Yeah, I would guess they're at least 6 though, because the lower bowl there. Well, the lower bowl there is probably 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a 16,000 person arena and it's usually 2/5, 3/5. But
I've never been in the Pacific Coliseum. I'm very excited to do so, but regardless, I'll be taking definitely a lot of photos and vids when it happens. So.
Absolutely no doubt in my mind that building's going to be hopping every night.
And I'm very excited to be a part of it. This is the first time I've ever had season tickets for anything, and I am beyond stoked to have this be the thing.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah, no, same here.
I am pumped.
But other than that, that's basically all I got. So.
Well, I want to talk about arenas in Ottawa. So the Senators have reached an agreement to purchase 11 acres of land in LeBreton Flats from the National Capital Commission, upon which to build their arena. So it looks like a downtown arena is actually happening. It's probably going to take at least 5 years. It has to be decontaminated and all that stuff, but it would be so much more convenient to be able to take the train to the event. Let's put it that way. It is bad in Ottawa.
SJ and I can finally relate. We finally understand what all the bitching was about after all that time.
That tiny little bridge.
I remember getting out of the car and turning around and just looking at the open news, me like, I finally understand. What the hell is this?
Yeah. It's in the middle of nowhere. It has poor infrastructure, and it sucks. I went to a lot of events at the CTC last year, and every time getting there and coming back just sucks. They are replacing all the seats The rest of the seats are being replaced, which is nice because the seats are really bad.
Cup holders.
And
Cup holders.
We're getting
Well,
those
the
in
new
Vancouver
seats-
too.
the new seats that they added in the 100s, SJ, have cup holders. So I'm guessing the new seats will have them everywhere else.
Good.
I'll let you know. I'll take a picture. I'll send it to you as proof. They put tickets up, $6 for the nosebleeds, but it's still $46 to see an NHL game. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. And you got to pay $35 for parking.
Oh,
Brutal.
never mind. It really.
Still half the
It's in the
price
middle
of
of
Vancouver.
nowhere.
That's
game.
worse
Yeah.
than Boston. In some spots.
Yeah, but you can't see. You can't. Canadian too, remember? But you can't see a Bruins game for $80 in right now. So
Oh, give him time.
the other thing I wanted to talk about was Montreal trading for Zach Bolduc from
The Blues.
our friends in St. Louis, and how very happy I am to see them turn a position where they have too many players and find someone who looks like a lock for the middle six, maybe even the top six. Between that, Noah Dobson, the arrival of Ivan Demidov, it feels like Montreal has a really good chance to go up in points next year and get to 90-95 and kind of be even out of the wild card. But they did a great job tearing it down. They did a great job with asset management. They did a very good job on drafting, and so far building the team in the upswing. They're getting really good grades. I'm very happy. They came in 5th in the Athletic rankings for front office, and I think that is about right. Tough to compete with Florida. Dallas, I think, was number 2. But Montreal at 5, I thought was very, very good, and I think it's accurate. They've done. It's the best front office that Montreal has had my entire life, because they really have not done much more in the last 40 years other than luck into getting Patrick Waugh for a decade. So those are the things I wanted to talk about.
Sweet.
And last but not least, because we can't not mention it, Bowie did survive being charged by a bear.
It was so funny.
That poor person out of the costume. But yeah.
I hope they got him like a really stiff drink that night. Hazard? Is there hazard pay for mascots?
As a former AHL mascot myself, I can confirm no. Decidedly no.
Oh man.
You were a former broadcaster, you were a mascot? Dude, your resume must be sick.
For the Hartford Wolfpack, I did everything. I was the backup public address announcer. I was the backup in-game MC. I did the camera for the Jumbotron some nights. I did the Chuck Puck. I did everything. It was a really cool college gig for sure.
Wow.
Nice. That's so cool.
I really hope for the person playing Bowie that they clean the costume very thoroughly after that, because I know I would have shit myself seeing that bear charge out of the woods.
100%.
Same.
All right.
Pay for the dry cleaning. All right, we'll take a very, very quick break, and then we'll turn it over to Trevor. And we're back. All right. Thanks, everyone, for being patient. Trevor, why don't you take it away with Jeopardy?
I shall. All right. Some of you, Benjamin, you've made a board before. SJ, you've played a couple times. Kyle, I'm sure you're familiar with Jeopardy, but regardless, I will go over the rules one more time. This is Jeopardy. So I will be giving you guys a website and a code. You're going to use that to buzz in. I have, again, 6 categories, 5 questions each. When I have finished, basically when you hear me stop talking, when I finish the prompt, that is when you buzz in. First person to buzz in will answer, and it must be in the form of a question: who, where, what, etc. If you get it right, you will get the points. If you get it wrong, you will lose all the points. Afterwards, we will go to Final Jeopardy, where you can wager however many points that you have, and I'll reiterate that when we get there for one final question. This is an easier one than last time because I realized I was a little full of myself and thought what might be obvious was not, because it made sense to me, but that doesn't mean it's going to make sense for everyone else. Hopefully, it is not as confusing. Regardless, are we all ready?
I have a question.
I'm ready.
Yes, let's do it.
You might have said this and then I phased out a little bit. How are we buzzing?
With this code that I have posted in the chat right now, if you go to the website buzzin.live and enter the game code that I have provided in the chat for the call we're in right now.
Oh, okay. And then the second part, do we need to wait until you read the entire...
Yes.
Okay.
Once I have finished talking, that is when you can buzz in.
Do we need sound on for this? It's asking me to check mark it.
I don't think you'll need it because I'm going to be the one who's going to be checking it.
Fair enough.
All right, I see Kyle, you are currently in.
Joining.
SJ is in.
Spacebar also works as buzzer button.
All right. Can you guys each hit the buzzer for me? All right, everyone's in. We're good. All right, clear buzzers. And with that, I'm going to share my screen because it is Jeopardy time.
Woo woo!
Oh, if we're going to do that way, can I actually change what... so I can look at it? Sorry, I'm on my tablet, folks. I am, like I said, I am away. Give me just a moment.
Very fitting, SJ. Very fitting.
I wish I knew
It's
the
a
location.
cool little website you found.
What?
Thank you.
I was going to say, I wish I knew the location of my giant foam hat. It's bigger than a regular hat.
I apparently also have two people disconnected from the buzzer thing. That's, I'm guessing, if it tabs away.
Oh, yeah, if mine... Okay. That's
Slightly annoying,
like,
but...
yeah.
Your categories for this round of Jeopardy are Hockey Night in Canada. So this will be questions based on either the hosts or in personalities of Hockey Night in Canada. Hotel guests, covering all the fun guests we've had on the show this year, which has been a good chunk. Thank you, everyone who did. Rewriting the record books. The Kardashev mythos. One of my favorite bands is called Kardashev. They're basically, each answer will be a player whose name, or they shares a first name with a band member or part of their lore. If you just give me the first name, that's fine. If you give me the full name, it's cool. It's going to be all hockey players. Hopefully that's fine. Goalie goals and opening night from this past season. So, SJ, as our reigning defending two-time champion of the world, you get first pick. Which category would you like?
Oh boy. These are all seem like they might be challenging for me. So let's just go ahead and start in the top left with Hockey Night in Canada for 100, please.
This panelist is the most decorated of them all with an Olympic silver and 3 Olympic golds, including setting up the winning goal for the third one in 2010. Benjamin.
Who is Jennifer Botterill?
Jennifer Botterill is correct.
I knew that one.
All right. Benjamin, up to you.
What's Hockey Night in Canada for 2?
The Rinksider to Elliot Friedman's Insider. All right, I have not gotten a response. This was Kyle Bukauskas. This is
I buzzed, but...
a bit late. I forgot to mention. It's
Too
about
late.
5 seconds or so. Benjamin, to you.
We'll do 3.
This former player was the subject of play-by-play man Hunter Ryan Singh's most famous goal call during the 2016 Stanley Cup Final. Kyle.
Who is Nick Bonino?
Bonino is correct.
Wow.
All right, Kyle, to you.
I'll take goalie goals for 100.
The only goaltender to actually shoot and score multiple goals. Benjamin.
Who is Martin Brodeur?
That is incorrect. Kyle.
Who's Ron Hextall?
Ron Hextall is the correct. Bartender has 3 goals, but 2 of them were own goals.
Let's go with
All right.
goals for 200.
All right. Out of the 20 goalie goals in NHL history, 8 have been own goals, including the latest, which was put into his own net by the biggest free agent signed by Nashville in the 23-24 offseason. Benjamin.
Who's Steven Stamkos?
Steven Stamkos is correct. Benjamin, to you.
We'll do goalie goals for 3.
Alex Nedeljkovic and Ilya Sorokin scored in the 2025 portion of the season, following this goalie who started us off in October of 2024. Oh, Benjamin, last second.
Who is Gustafson?
Philip Gustafson is correct. All right, Benjamin, to you.
We'll do 400, please.
While the New Jersey Devils franchise has been scored on 3 times, none were via actual shots on goal, unlike this franchise, who is the only one to have been shot on for multiple goals against.
Oh, that's hard.
What?
Boop, boop, boop. All right, I have got no response. That would be the Vancouver Canucks, who got shot on by Evgeny Nabokov in 2000. And Kyle, you should know this one very well, in 2023 by Linus Ullmark. All right, Benjamin.
Let's finish it off.
He scored the latest goalie goal in terms of time left, getting the puck across the line with only 0.1 seconds remaining. Kyle.
Who's Pecorine?
Pecorine is not correct.
I don't know.
Boop, boop, boop. No response. Who is Mike Smith?
That's right.
Mike Smith.
I have definitely watched
Mike
that clip
Smith,
in the last year.
sunglass emoji. Let's do rewriting record books for 100.
Yeah. This goaltender only allowed 1 goal to Alex Ovechkin. Unfortunately for him, it was the 895th of Ovechkin's career, allowing Ovi to become the all-time NHL goal scorer. Kyle, you were in too early. SJ.
No, yeah.
Who is Ilya Sorokin?
Ilya Sorokin is correct. SJ is on the board.
Yeah, I finally got one.
All right, we're going to you.
Let's go with rewriting the record books for 200.
This forward became the first player to score multiple hat-tricks in one season in the PWHL. Benjamin.
Who's Teresa Vanasova?
That is correct.
I'm glad that you got that one.
To you.
Yeah. I'm not glad anymore.
I am.
Record books for 3.
The NHL surpassed 23 million fans in attendance in a season for the first time in its 108-year history, having games at 36 venues: the 32 rinks, O2 Arena in Prague, Nokia Arena in Tampere, Ohio Stadium, and this famous ballpark. Boop, boop, boop. All right, I have gotten no response. The correct answer was, what is Wrigley Field?
I knew it was the
1060 West
Chicago
Addison.
one, and I was like, what the heck is that called? I seriously can't my brain is shot.
It's been a couple months.
Yeah.
Benjamin?
400, yeah.
Marie-Philippe Poulin is the PWHL's all-time leading scorer in both goals and points, but this forward is second in points and the leader amongst players who have played for multiple teams. Boop, boop, boop. I've got no response. The correct answer. Who's Daryl Watts?
That would have been my guess.
My brain got there just as you booped.
All right.
I need to just buzz in. and get stuff wrong.
Yeah.
That's how this goes.
Yeah. Benjamin?
Do it, 500. Let's finish it up.
This player has tied the franchise record for points by a defenseman at the ripe old age of 25, and in 433 games, 498 games fewer than who he's tied with. Benjamin.
Who is Quinn Hughes?
Sure is.
Wow.
Yeah, he's kind of good. So I've heard. All right, Benjamin, to you.
Who's he tied with?
Alex Edler.
Oh my God. I can't believe Alex Edler had that. Hotel guests for 100, please.
Not only was she our guest for the PWHL Takeover Tour game in Buffalo, Liz also happens to be married to this editor of a certain podcast.
Wait, what are you?
Benjamin.
Who is John?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, this is a very confusingly structured question because I couldn't actually figure out who you were asking about. I was like,
Fair enough.
okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
Well,
it's all right.
Let's do 200 and see if it's better.
This guest of ours was the only one to attend multiple PWHL takeovers, including hanging out with this game's host in Vancouver.
Oh.
Benjamin.
Who is Jordan?
Sure was.
Oh, that's right.
I had to think who would be in
Edmonton.
multiple places. Yeah.
He was also the Edmonton one as well as Vancouver.
We'll do guests for 300.
Aside from attending the Denver takeover, both Madison and Emily also became famous by appearing on the stream for this player's first game in multiple years. Kyle.
Who's Gabriel Landeskog?
Yeah, it was. Fun fact, I'm the one who spotted them and proceeded to then immediately message them being like, were you just on the Jumbotron? They're like, yeah, we were. I'm like, yeah, I saw you.
Very nice. That was a fun game.
Kyle.
I'll take opening night for 100.
The 2024-25 PWHL campaign started at the end of November with the first goal of the season scored by then Fleet Commander. I think it should have been this then I slightly erred. SJ.
Who's Hillary Knight?
Yeah, that's right. Now, PWHL Seattle player.
They're going to make her the captain, right? Like,
They have
100%.
I assume so. I assume they'll announce captaincies during camp.
All right, SJ, it's your pick.
Let's go with opening night for 200.
This broadcaster pulled incredible double duty by flying from Seattle to Salt Lake City, calling 2 of the 3 games on opening night. SJ.
Who's Ray Ferraro?
That's right.
Yeah.
I didn't know he did that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Ray Ferraro is
like,
our Iron Man.
I think the first puck drop for Seattle was at something like noon. Game was done by 3, and then he flew to Salt Lake for like a 7 o'clock puck drop at their time.
Yeah,
It was wild.
Way to go.
opening the season in Seattle in the middle of the day on a Tuesday was
A choice.
god awful.
And the best part too is his voice didn't even crack once. Like he had an immaculate voice all night.
He's
Dude's
a
so
champion.
cool.
He's a champion.
All right, SJ.
Opening night for 300, please.
PWHL opening night closed with the Ottawa Charge and Montreal Victoire finishing in a shootout, where this surprising draft pick scored a goal and an assist. Boop, boop, boop. I've got no response. The correct answer was Abby Boreen.
Oh.
Right.
All right,
Poor Abby
SJ.
Maureen.
Oh, I do feel bad for her.
SJ, back to you.
Opening night for 400, please.
History was made in Utah as this player scored the first goal for the hockey club.
Watch this team.
SJ.
I'm just gonna guess. Who's Clayton Keller?
Clayton Keller is not correct.
Oh, it was worth
That
a
was
shot.
my guess.
That was going to be my guess, too.
3, 2, 1. Boop, boop, boop. Close. The correct answer is Dylan Genther.
Oh, that's practically the same player, right?
I think he scored something like 6 of the team's first 11 or something. He had a really good first half of the year.
Yep.
SJ,
Let's finish it out. 500.
the NHL season started off 3 days before the true start of the season, as the New Jersey Devils potted back-to-back victories versus this club over in Prague, Czechia. Kyle.
Who are the San Jose Sharks?
That is incorrect.
No!
Oh, it wasn't.
I have no idea.
If nobody else guesses, can I guess again?
For no points, I'll let you guess again.
Yes. Buffalo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to kick yourself. It sure was the Buffalo Sabres.
I think I definitely memory hold that.
At least by going to Prague, they were able to have a couple sellouts.
Brutal.
All right, SJ, back to you.
Let's go with Hockey Night in Canada for 400, please.
Yeah. This broadcaster holds the NHL record for highest career shooting percentage at 23.7%. Boop, boop, boop. I hate this guy so much. Who's Craig Simpson?
Really?
PDO
Craig
merchant.
Simpson has that record?
Playing on the 80s
Amazing.
and 90s Oilers will do that for you.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Oop, Kyle, I got a disconnect from you on the buzzer.
There we go. We're good.
All right, you're back. SJ,
Let's finish it out with 500.
That's what happens when you're minus 300.
my favorite. Once described by former teammate Kevin Bieksa as being so cool that he, quote, could have played the game with a cigarette in his mouth after his Stanley Cup playoff debut in the finals. Benjamin.
Who is Kessler?
It is not Kessler.
I have no idea.
The correct answer. Who is Chris Tanev?
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
Jesus.
Those are the good old days. All right, SJ?
Let's go with the Kardashev mythos with 100.
Yeah. The band's bassist equals the greatest goal scorer of all time. Kyle.
Who's Alexander?
That's right.
Okay.
It's just that easy. All right. Who's next? Kyle, your pick.
200.
The band's vocalist equals made Vegas famous for their cap shenanigans. Kyle.
Who is Mark?
Yeah, it is.
300.
The band's guitarist equals the captain of a team that, if owned by Iron Maiden, might be called the Beasts.
What?
I'm just confused.
This one was a bit of a stretch. Who's Nico, as in the captain of the Devils?
Oh, yeah. I was thinking 666, and I did not put the Devils together. Amazing.
Didn't quite get there.
I can see where you were going there.
Yeah, like I said, that one was a bit of a stretch, and I also did want to throw an Iron Maiden
Let's
reference.
go
in there.
with Kardashev for 400.
The band's drummer equals was named the captain of his team and then got scratched a couple of weeks later by his now former coach.
I know who this is. What is his name?
Boop, boop, boop. SJ, you might be kicking yourself. Can you at least tell me what team he was?
This was
for?
the Flyers.
Yeah, it was Sean
Sean
Couturier.
Couturier.
Oh my god. I forgot that Torts benched him. That's
So
amazing.
I could kill him.
Yeah,
Kardashev
it was like
500.
right there. And then finally, the band's character equals Columbus's first round pick in 2021.
21.
SJ.
Who's Adam?
No. Adam was, I believe, 23. Yeah, because that was the Bedard year. Benjamin.
Who's David?
No.
That was David Jiricek. damn it.
I got nothing.
Nothing from Kyle. The correct answer. Who was Kent Johnson?
Kent Johnson. Dang it.
All right. Kyle, you got 2 left.
400.
Which one? This team from Monroe, Louisiana is the home team for our St. Louis takeover guest, Will. Oh, sorry. I did not clear buzzers.
That's okay. It's a SPWHL.
Yeah, I did clear it. So if either SJ, Kyle, or Benjamin want to enter it now.
Oh, what was it? I'm dying.
The correct answer. Who are the Monroe Moccasins?
That's right.
With the snake. An unfortunate snake. All right, and our last one. Emily shocked us all by correctly guessing this DEL team at the end of our first Takeover Tour episode. SJ.
The Fishtown Penguins.
I'll give it to you.
Wow.
Correct.
Who, well, okay, I forgot to put it in the form
you
of a
have to
question.
answer in the form of a question.
Yeah. All right. So at the end of the game, SJ, 0.
Yeah.
Kyle, 0. Benjamin, 500. So you can wager whatever you want in Final Jeopardy. You're going to win regardless, but I will give you Final Jeopardy anyway. With that said, I just need to close this stream because I don't want anyone seeing anything else here. So, bid what you want from the amount you have available, in which case, doesn't apply. So your Final Jeopardy category is transactions. Originally signing with the Colorado Avalanche in the offseason, he was a part of the first trade after the start of the 24-25 NHL season. Later, he was swapped again to the Rangers in January before moving on to Buffalo at the trade deadline in March. So, for this, if you have an answer, DM it to me. You got about 30 seconds, give or take. Insert Jeopardy theme here.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Da 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 do 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 do. Dun 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 dun.
Boom, boom.
Did Trevor just freeze up?
I think he did.
Yeah, I think he did too.
Brilliant timing. Did he?
That or he's slow rolling us.
His computer
Yep.
blue screened. It was too much for him.
Wow.
Okay. Well, we'll just wait. Oh, there he is. He's back.
All right. I think you have to talk to us about this because I'm burning to know the answer.
So sorry about that. Obviously, my computer just wanted to make this dramatic as all hell.
It was extremely funny.
I yelled to the heavens. I will say that much right now. I just need this to load up. So I did get one guess at the end from Kyle, who asked, "Who is Bowen Byram?" And he wagered, "Hi, Mom." Very cute.
Oh, Bowen Byram, maybe.
It is incorrect.
It is not correct.
Oh well. That's okay. Who was it?
Yeah, he spent all last year with the Sabres.
Oh, that's true.
All right, so I got this back up.
Not a bad guess, though.
The final answer. Who is Eric Brandstrom?
That, you know what? That's a fantastic question because I know who he is. I still don't remember him.
I am not convinced that Eric Brandstrom is a player that exists.
Yeah.
He also got waived and then reacquired and then waived and acquired. Like he's played for so many different teams, and I don't think he has more than 20 NHL games.
He was with Ottawa for the longest time, didn't get re-signed by them, got signed by the Avalanche, traded to the Canucks for Tucker Pullman at the start of the season.
That's a guy.
And then was a part of the JT Miller trade. before then they swapped them to Buffalo for, oh man, I don't even remember who this was now.
Didn't Ottawa
should.
get him in the Mark Stone trade?
Something like that.
Am I?
Yes.
Am I?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was. They got him, or they got the pick for him. One of the two. I can't remember.
I don't know. So
Thank you, Trevor.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Benjamin,
Yeah.
you
It
are
was-
our new champion of Jeopardy.
Yay! 500 points. I'm going to spend them all in one place, though.
I mean, to be fair, I think this is the first time we've ever had a winner who finished positive. So,
I have no recollection. Maybe.
I think our first game you had like, oh no, I think you finished positive in our first round, and but the one where you and I went head to head, I think you won like minus 800 to minus 900 or something stupid. It was bad.
There you go.
It's honestly, it's more fun when everybody just totally has wrong answers.
Yeah, but yeah, I hope that helped rattle or some trigger some memories, rattle some brain cells around.
I feel
couple
very
months.
rattled.
As do I.
Well, thanks for putting that together, Trevor. Did you have fun, Kyle?
This is a blast.
Excellent.
Thanks for having me. I
Thanks for-
appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks
Yeah,
for.
we appreciate you.
Taking a little bit of your weekend for our silly
Yep, I'm about
Any
podcast.
to
final
go
thought? Go ahead, finish up.
Oh, I was going to say I'm about to go out and have some mid pizza, but I'm excited for the hockey season, and it can't come soon enough. And Bruins, Hartford Wolfpack, and Yukon Women, go all those teams.
Okay,
Excellent.
but also, what about the Boston Fleet?
Yeah, I got to get up there. Lowell is actually surprisingly more of a pain in the ass to get to than Boston itself.
So I think they should play a couple of games at least at Aganis this year.
That's actually, that would be sick.
Yeah, I know
Check that
they had two very successful games at Aganis last season, and I think eventually they do want to move into the city, into Boston itself. But so I would not be surprised if they try to schedule that arena a few more times this year.
I bet they're going to end up at the new women's arena that's being built. So,
Could be.
well, any final thoughts before I close this down?
I hope everybody's
Go
having
Vancouver
a good
women,
summer.
go. Yeah, that too.
We are gonna try to do. I am gonna try once I'm back in North America to sync up with Andrew and do something on Hockey Canada. I also have been preparing a special episode about one of hockey's greatest bastards, Alan Eagleson.
Sick.
That will be
Oh,
very
yeah.
interesting. And at some point, I am going to sit SJ down and talk to them about the Guardian project that's going to happen. I've decided to YOLO it more than I was originally planning because I can't make myself write a script on it. But we will have that conversation before puck drops on the 25-26 season. And yeah, so September, there should be a few things coming your way, folks. But until then, this has been the Neutral Zone Hotel, written, hosted, and produced by the Neutral Zone Hotel crew. You can find us online at neutralzonehotel.com. You can join our Discord, neutralzonehotel.com/Discord. If you're listening to this on podcast player, please give us 5 stars or thumbs up. If you're on YouTube, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. There's more stuff I'm supposed to say here, but I've mostly forgotten it all, so I'll just say thanks so much, and we'll see you very soon. Take care.